Hello everyone, welcome to acadsystems free online lesson. Okay, before we get started, I will just admit participants. Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, I hope you can hear me well and you can see me. All right. Okay. So if you can't hear me or you can't see me, you can just chat using our chat here. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So welcome to our acadsystems free online lesson. And today you'll be joining me. I'm Hakim. I'm one of the BIM specialists in acadsystems. And for today's topic, we have 3ds Max basic sofa modeling. So this is basically very basics in 3ds Max. I know a lot of our clients are engineers and architects alike. So you might not know much on 3ds Max. So, but if you have the collection for PDMC collection or AEC collection, actually you have this 3ds Max in your collection. So, but I know a lot of time you bought the collection, but you basically just never catch on it even. Okay. But for architecture, I think 3ds Max is quite popular as well. So yeah, before we get started, I will introduce this 3ds Max. So basically 3ds Max is a computer graphic program for creating 3D models, animation, and digital image. It's one of the most popular programs in the computer graphics industry, and it's well known for having a robust tool sets for 3D artists. So yeah, from this description, you'll probably realize that it said a lot about 3D modeling and then animations, and it's a robust tool set for 3D artists. So it isn't really a software that comes to mind when you think of BIM, but if you use 3ds Max, integrate with other softwares like Revit, for example, so this will be very great. Okay, but if any of the participants are into like character modelings or VFX and animation stuff, this demonstration will probably be like baby steps for you. Okay, and so yeah, what is this 3ds Max used for? So what some of the applications are for example, for furniture modeling. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing today, and it's also used by architects. It can give you very nice renders through V-Ray, for example. Okay, and then now I think 3ds Max have built-in Arno visualizer. So 3ds Max can give you really nice renderings. And then on the other side, you can also create like character modelings. You're into animations and stuff like that. And then it is also popular for like 3D assets, like creating environment and things for games, for movies. So one of the example of movies that have used 3ds Max is Avatar. So Avatar is like from 10 years back and used 3ds Max. If you remember that movie, how great the visuals are. So that is using 3ds Max. Okay, so without further ado, let's go into 3ds Max. Okay, so this is the home interface. Okay, so if you click on the icon, it will bring you to this interface. So I've done nothing here, so nothing to be worried about. Okay, now I want to focus on the perspective view. We got 4 viewports here, and I want to focus on this view. So I can click here and maximize viewport. Okay. Then it will give you a grid here. Okay. And then you have this cube. This cube is for you to like orbit around, and you can also use hold on alternate and click on your mouse wheel to orbit. Okay. So these are very useful to our lesson today. Okay. Firstly, we're gonna create our cushion. So I will go to our command panel here. This is command panel, and here is a create tab. So under the create tab, you'll find this box. So I can just click in this box, and then I click here, drag it, and then go up like this, and then click. Basically done our box. So I can change the dimension through parameters. Okay, just now I just create without worrying on the dimension, because I know I can change it from here. You can change it from here. So the length would be like would give it 100, and the width to 80, for example, and then the height will be like 50. Okay, something like this. And then I want to add segments on this object, so I can edit, because this in 3ds Max it involves a lot about editing the polygons. So I need to add more faces or vertices on this object, so later I can make this really look like a cushion, because right now it's just like a box. Okay, so I want to soften it up, and first thing first, I would have to add the segments from here. But first I would have to go to here, default shading here, and then click on edge faces. Okay, if not, you will not see your segments. Okay, for the length segments, I will input 10, and width 10. For the height, I'll just leave it to 1. Okay, so that, right? So with edge faces, you can see your segments, and it will help you later to modify it. All right, next, what we're going to do is we're going to modify it. So, all right, for that, you can rename your object here. So for example, I will rename it to cushion 1. And then if I don't like the color, I can just change it from here. Okay, but I think I like blue color, so I'll just leave it there. And next, we're going to be modifying it. So go to modify here. Okay, and then you have a modifier list here, and you need to select on the modifier list to be able to do the modification. So the first modification will be, so here we have a great options of modification that you can do. The first one we're gonna do today is edit poly. So click on the edit poly, and then it will bring you to this window. Okay, under the selection here, you need to specify what you are selecting. We've got vertex, edge, border, polygon, and element here. So first I'm going to use edge. Okay, click on the edge, and then click here, click at one edge. Basically, I want to select all the edges around this perimeter. Okay, so I click on one edge, and then there is a loop here. And click on loop. It will select you the whole side. Okay, and then I would orbit it around, and I hold on Control to add to the selection, and then again I can click on loop. Okay, so just repeat the process while holding on Control to add to your selection. Okay, so Control, click, and loop. Okay, now all parameters have been selected. What I want to do is I want to extrude these edges. So I click on extrude. Then I click on here to bring you this, like and input it basically. So here I will input 1.5, example, and 1.5 here. And then I click on finish. So it gives you this shape extrusion basically. Okay. Then I think I accidentally clicked on the vertices, so all the vertices shown up, but I'm still want to use this edge. Okay, I want to do the same thing for the part down here. So click on it, loop, Control to add selection, loop. So I move to this side, Control, select, loop, Control, select, loop. Okay, then I go to extrude. So basically this is just the same process, and then it remembers your last input. So I don't need to do anything on it, and then finish. Okay, so we have it on both sides. Okay, next I want to go to these vertices. Okay, these vertices. So now I'm able to see my vertices. Okay, under these vertices, I would like to add some creases to my cushion. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we want to soften up this box. So first we extrude it at the perimeter, and then now I want to add like creases on it. Okay, so for that I go to vertices, and then down here I go to edit geometry, and then I click on cut. Cut. Okay. So basically I can add cut here, for example here, here, here. You can right click to stop the command. Okay. So cushion in reality, the shape is very organic. If I do so, I'm adding more vertices by adding this cut. Okay, because right now it's we are softening up this box, but still it looks very uniform. So I need to do this random things that will represent creases on our cushion, so that it will be more realistic. Okay, so this depends on you. You can add more if you like. Okay, but I'll just leave it here like this. Maybe a couple more. Okay. All of you can hear me, right? Okay. So, and you should be able to look at me. If there's any problem, you can just go on to the chat. Okay. And next, I will be moving these vertices. Okay. I'll just apply these vertices, the cuts on this side. So if I were to, you can do on all sides, but for this demonstration purposes, I'll just do on this one side. Okay, so after applying the cuts, I can go to move here, this move icon, And then I can select on this vertices and basically move it. It will give you this symbol, then you can move it. Okay. But please don't overdo this because we're gonna be adding a lot more modifiers to make it realistic. But this will just give you some variations. So this will represent our creases later. Okay. Let's do something like that. Yeah, so something like that. Okay. And then next step would be I'll go to the modifier list again, and then I look for a modifier called Turbo Smooth. Okay, yeah, click on it, and then it automatically applies on your object with Turbo Smooth. Okay, so as you can see, these are the cuts that we applied just now, and so it looks a little bit uneven. Okay, we have uneven faces here. It represents the creases as compared to the one that I didn't do anything. Okay, so it looks more realistic, basically. Okay, so that is the modifier list, and next I'll go to I'm gonna have to click on it first. Then I will add another modifier, which is cloth. Okay, I can click this cloth, and then first this is a cushion and it's probably fabric, so you can add a cloth effect to it. So under the modifier list, just click on cloth. Then I will bring you to this window. You need to click on the object properties. Okay, so you can see our cushion one here. Select the object and then click on cloth here. Okay, so these are the presets. Okay, you can go on and edit that, or you can just use a preset. So for example, here are options of the presets. For example, I'm using a cotton preset. Okay, and then for the pressure, I would probably put 0.3, and then click on OK. All right. Next, after doing that, I would click on. Okay, first I will have to make sure this gravity is set to 0. If not, it will move down. Okay, set to 0, and then click on simulate. You can see the cloth effect are taking on. Now it's doing the simulation. Okay, I'll just wait until it's done. Done. So the cloth effect get a more realistic cushion on that modifier. Okay, so we got one of the cushion. And then, so basically this is a two-seater sofa. So I go on a top view from here, and then I click on, hold on shift, and I can just move it to copy. Okay, let's put it side by side. And then I will choose instance. As you do that, this window will pop up. Just choose instance. If you leave it to copy, it will not bring you the cloth effect as well. Okay, so just choose instance. Okay. So I got two cookies. First. And then next, I would like to add the backrest. So for that, I'll go to the left view. So from here, click on the perspective here. Now we're in perspective, click on left. Or I'm not going to use that. Front view. Okay, I want this view. So now I'm going to copy this thing to make the backrest. But for this, I will copy and rotate at the same time. This now was copy and move. Now it's copy and rotate. So I click on shift and rotate. And then I can rotate it here, for example. Then again, instance. Now I use a box selection because I want to select the object behind it as well. Then I can move it to its position here. And I want to scale it, have it a different size. I don't want to have it similar to our cushion here. So I can just use scale from this icon. Click here, up here. Okay, so I can apply the scale, maybe a little bit smaller. Something like this. Okay. And then again, I will move it down. Yeah. Okay, so basically I didn't copy when I wrote it. So maybe I didn't select the object at the back. So I'll just click on it and then follow on shift and then move to the other side. Okay. That's it nicely. And now it looks a lot more like a sofa already. It's taking up the shape of a sofa. And then next I'll be going to the top view. I want to add in a box. So I click on the create panel. And then I want to add the base. Okay. So for the base, I probably don't want to use a box. I'll start with a thing called chamfered box. So these items are under the standard primitives. So you can change this, go to extended primitives, and then you have more advanced objects that you can do. For example, chamfer box. So click on chamfer box. I click on the chamfer box, and then I can just drag it here, here. So at this point, I don't really mind about the dimension. Okay, I just use approximately, and of course you can change it from here later. Okay, so I made a chamfered box here, and then I will input the length. For example, I'll just make it 250 here, and then the width is 100, and the height will probably be 10. And then here, the fillet, this is important to our chamfer box. So I'll probably put the 2. If you leave it to 0, it's basically just a box without fillet. Okay. And done with our base. So I can go to our front view, basically put it in place. Okay. Base should be like here. Okay. Next, you can go back to the top view, and then I want to add the back support. So again, I'll just use the chamfer box. I will draw it first, something like this. Okay. Then I pan it, so I can input the length. I can match it to 250. This one is to probably 12. The height, just give it a 30 now. And I feel it should also match the base with 2. Okay. Then again, I go to the front view. Okay. Then I can place this accordingly with the move. move command and place it here, maybe move it back a little bit, and then using scale, I can bring this up. Sorry, and something like that. Okay, so now that I've added on the backrest, and next I will add on the armrest. Okay, so something like this. Okay, I'll just change it from here. And parameters for the length and width, I just leave as it is. You can always use the scale later. Just put the front view and move it to its place first. Okay, something like this. And then I can rescale, make it a little bit higher. Okay. So there, basically, we got our armrest. Okay. Maybe you want to move it here. Okay. And then making it a little bit bigger. Okay. And then next, I can just copy this to the other side by holding Shift, then move. Okay. Copy instance. So this is basically just the same thing. Then I can go to the left. Oh, sorry. Maybe not left. Maybe the right view. Okay. So I can have more control here. Okay, I want to rescale this part. Okay. And then also this part. So I'm just using scale and move to set the dimension. You can always use the parameters as well, but for this, I'm just moving it freely with scale and move. So there we have it, our sofa. And maybe next I want to add the legs. Okay, so for the leg, I'll go to again the create panel, make sure you're in the create panel. I will just use the standard primitives. Okay, and then for this, I will use a cylinder. Okay. Cylinder, and then I'll just create it outside and then I can move it in place later. Okay, first, I will just click on the cylinder and then make a cylinder. Okay, like that. Just click at one place and then specify the height, then click, okay, done. Now you can add in the radius and height from here. I'm not sure which radius and height I'm going to use now, so I will do that with our scale and move later. But here from the segment, I don't want to have height segments. I don't want to have the 5 height segments. I just want to have 1 because I will be moving this plane. Okay, I think you will see it later. The purpose of doing this. So specify it to 1 and keep. So the height segments are gone. And now I can go to modify. And then I need to add the edit modify, edit poly, sorry. Add in the edit poly modifier. Okay. Then only I can select the polygon. So basically this face. And then I would like to move it. So if I have segments just now, it will move only this part and the other segment will stay. So by having one segment, you can do this. Okay, so these are the legs. I want to have it a little bit slanted like this. And for this part, I want to make it smaller. So I use scale and I scale it down. Something like that. Okay. Then basically I can move it in place. I go to the top view first, select our object and then move. Sorry. We need to go out from this. Okay. Make sure you're not selecting a polygon. Make sure you're not selecting a polygon. Okay. Move and move it to it. Use different views to easily maneuver. Okay, but still this one is looking a little bit big, so I just rescale this whole thing down. Okay, we have this. If you hover over here and drag down, you get a uniform scale. If you go here, it's basically a one direction scale. Okay, so maybe this one looks okay, and then I move it to its place, and then with shift and move, I can, sorry, okay, shift and move, it's not working. Maybe I need to go out from this modifier and click this one, hold shift and move. I can place the other side, and then I can rotate it, go to a better view. I've accidentally moved the gimbal here, so it's okay. Go on to rotate. Okay. So basically you got the idea. You need to rotate it, but I've accidentally moved the gimbal. So that would be hard for me to rotate. Okay, but you got the idea. I move it here, and then I can also move it to the back. Instance, okay. All right. Then basically you got your whole sofa. And then also like the cushion, you can also apply the same modifier to the armrest and to the backrest to have the cloth effect, so it look more nicer. Okay, maybe I'll change the view to clay, and then I turn off the head faces. So this is basically what you came up with. So this is just the modeling part. It's not the, I'm not adding the material. The modifier is just a cloth effect, but not yet the material. But this is the basic on the 3D modeling. Okay, so for that, that will be the end to our demonstration. So if you have any question, you can type in our chat box. And while we are at it, I want to bring you to our website. So you can visit our website at acadsystems.com. Okay, just type in at acadsystems.com. It will bring you to our homepage, and then you can read about us, or you want to look at our products. Okay, these are our products, our Autodesk products. You can just click on it and get info on it. So on our trainings, you can click here, get inquiry on our trainings. We also have a live chat here. You can click on the live chat and then just chat with our agent here. Okay, if you have any inquiry, on our softwares or anything, just anything. Okay, we have online agents ready to assist you. And then if you scroll down, we have all our news on promotion and stuff. And then, okay, this one is our free online lesson. So you can look at other topics that will come up later and basically book your places. Okay, so these are the topics that will come next. And then you go down again, this is our on-site training on our training facility. Okay, you can check on it as well. And then you can click here, Facebook icon, go to our Facebook. Okay, here also you can get more info from our Facebook and also to our YouTube. Okay, from our YouTube. So basically all the free online lessons will be uploaded in our channel. So in our channel, we already have a big library on, we touch on basically a lot of topics already on various softwares. So you can check that out and maybe give us a subscribe. Okay. And then, yeah, that's basically it. I'll check in the chat and have a quick, so from Dino Cheong, can have a quick demo to rendering. Okay, I'm planning on doing the rendering demonstration. I couldn't do a quick demo because actually now we are over time, but just stay tuned. I have that in schedule, so I will demonstrate that in our next free online lesson. Okay. All right, welcome. So if there's no any further question, thank you very much for joining me today, and see you next time. Bye-bye.